Congrats, another great role, another fun movie here. I do want to talk about Jess Varley because I think it's
Yeah.
really interesting whenever you have a director who's also the writer because they have such a greater scope of what the story is, what the characters are. And when we meet Mark in this story, there's obviously some tension with the relationship that he has with Sam. So, how much backstory were you informed of, and how much of that was just intuition and you informing yourself on who the character could be?
Um, Jess Farley, first of all, just is wonderful, and really, as you stated, had a firm grasp on this story. She'd been working on it for several years before we put it up in front of the camera, and um, so she was a great resource in terms of just where these characters are, what they just the turbulence that that these central characters have with each other. I mean, there's a lot of kind of trust issues kind of floating around all over, even between her father and myself, her father and her, So um, we talked a bit about it, and I think that is at the root of it is however much distance there may be between them, both physically and internally. Um, you can see once that they're together, and the pressure, and it's kind of a microcosm into, I guess, to what might happen should we ever be visited by others. It will by necessity drive us together and bond us, and for whatever, for whatever may come. I think there's something about that extraordinary circumstance that will eventually bring everyone closer. Um, but in this relationship, this specific one, you get to see them. You get to see them as the parents they are, and as the lovers and the man and wife that they are. Um, I keep saying, I think the most kind of touching moment is when she tells me, not to give too much of the film away, but when she tells me what she's experiencing, and rather than cast it aside and scoff at it, however otherworldly as it may sound, he believes her, and she's and that was something that Jess and we all, as a group, really wanted to make sure we preserve in the story, is that we wouldn't be leaning into any, oh, she's just kind of out of her mind, a crazy woman kind of idea. It's she's a gifted woman, and a very capable person who's experienced this insane, kind of scenario. So, but yeah, the fact that he believes her and can look at her and see the truth in her face is a testament to their bond and their closeness.
Yeah, totally. I love that, it is a story. A lot of it is about kind of Sam's isolation, whether she's in space or in that house. But then Mark is also feeling quite isolated from what his family used to be. So that the way it culminates and they come together is definitely a powerful part of the storytelling there. But I'm a sucker for like good production design, and I know this is like an indie production, so you had to. I was talking to Kate, and they were saying like, there wasn't a lot of time to get into makeup, and there were certain things that you had to just like use your imagination to believe. So I was wondering, because art departments are such unsung heroes on films, especially for sci-fi films. But what did you physically see, or what did the art department kind of set in place for you to let you feel kind of the sci-fi elements of these creatures, of the others that come into
Oh,
play?
oh yeah, no, I mean it really was trusting our VFX supervisor, and trusting the process there, the post process that was going to take place, because on the day there really wasn't anything to reference. I mean, there were maybe some lighting elements, an occasional tennis ball, but really not there. And that's also just incredible how far we've come with our in-camera effects that we're able to achieve. That we could just, you can kind of just shoot away, and as long as there's references and plates, they can make anything, which is pretty remarkable. But I mean, all hats off to Kate. She a good majority of this film is just her in her isolation, trying to discern what's real and what's not, and there's just a beautiful tension that she carries throughout the film. Um, and yeah, but then when the human elements come together at the end, there's just some really, for me, I just loved it. I just love the idea, especially in the script, and I hope people enjoy it when they watch the film. Is there's I mean, it's kind of, I'm almost more human than human at some point.
Yeah.
Um, it's the ties and the bonds that are important, and and the idea that we're always going to be fearful if we don't seek to know, you know.
Yeah, totally. I am with Comicbook.com. And so obviously you've played in some really cool realms with The Last of Us and the Terminator franchise, where we first met actually at that
Yeah,
junket.
yeah.
But I think for many fans, including myself, it's Robbie Reyes that I want to see you reprise. And I'm at this point, I just wonder for you, where does the desire lie for you as a performer to even step back into that role and see him in the future? And has there ever been discussion about it?
Um, well, I mean, of course, there was the show that we had and that had been greenlit over at Hulu, and then there was some there was some reshuffling of things. But I mean, I don't know how much talk there's been about it. I've been kind of steady as she goes with my other projects, but I uh I certainly get asked about it quite a bit, and I wonder if internally there's some similar questions been happening. But the desire is you know the desire to play that character probably never really evaporated. It's just fun, super fun. It's iconic. It's something that I loved as a child. That somehow in my as I grew into my career, that I was able to do something like that. And so I'm always ready, man. I mean, I'm physically still kind of there, and I haven't aged drastically, so I'm certainly prepared to do it. But like everything else, especially with something so intricately woven, it's only if it makes sense. It's only if it's good, and if the people are there for it, then it'd be worth doing. Um, but they're doing some good stuff. You know, my brother was in the Fantastic Four, and that was seemed to be really really cool, and starting to point them back in not to say the right direction, but certainly kind of um, focus a lot of the stories now.
Mhm.
And so yeah, I mean, I love Robbie, and I love the Ghost Rider, and should they come knocking, they I'll answer the door.
Well, man, I hope they do. You are massively talented. I'm always happy to speak to you, and I can't wait to see where else your career goes. You just always are killing it. But I do have to wrap. But thank
Yeah,
you so much for your time, and congrats on the Astronaut.
thank you, Law. Appreciate it.